Dear students, welcome to our YouTube channel Vidya for Success. In this video, let us continue our study on the characteristic features of angiosperms. As children, in our last video, we studied regarding the structure of pistil in the flower. So, pistil is a female sex organ. It consists of basal part that is named as ovary, and ovary connected with elongated stalk that is named as style, and style terminates with stigma. So, these are the three different parts can be seen in the female sex organ. And let us now understand how the formation of megaspore takes place in the female sex organ. Because the initial function of the female sex organ is the formation of megaspores. Understood? So, the formation of megaspore takes place within the ovule. So, where we have ovule in the pistil? Yes, ovule is present inside the ovary. So, ovary is actually protective structure. It consists of number of ovules. Many ovules will be present. So, number usually vary, depends on the kind of species. Clear? So, ovule develops one of the structure during the time of reproduction that is named as megaspore. So, how actually the formation of megaspore takes place? What is there within the ovule? So, if we take the transfer section of ovule, we can see number of diploid cells. Clear? So, all those diploid cells together named as nucellus. Understood? So, out of many diploid cell, only one diploid cell become dominate functionally, and that dominate cell is named as megaspore mother cell. Clear? So, ovule as megaspore mother cell. So, this is the dominant cell can be seen in the ovule. So, this cell undergo meiosis, that means reductional division takes place in the megaspore mother cell. So, as a result, what will form? So, it going to form 4 megaspores. So, the megaspores are haploid spores. Clear? Because they are formed by the meiosis takes place in megaspore mother cell. So, as a result of this, 4 haploid spores will form. Those 4 haploid spores are nothing but megaspores. Understood? So, this is the first stage of development can be seen in the ovule. So, what is that development? Megaspore mother cell divides meiotically in order to form 4 haploid megaspores. So, these 4 haploid megaspores do not retain within the ovule till the formation of seed. Clear? So, out of 4 megaspores, only one megaspore become functionally active. What about the remaining 3? Those 3 megaspores, they disintegrate. That means they degenerate in the ovule. That means they disappear. They do not further develops in the ovule. Understood? So, only one megaspore retain within the ovule, and it get increases in size, and that megaspore is nothing but female gametophyte. Understood? So, why we are calling that megaspore as a female gametophyte? So, there are some gametes can be seen within the megaspore. Clear? So, the formation of female gamete actually takes place in this particular megaspore, so that it is called as female gametophyte. So, we have already studied, right? Gametophyte is nothing but a structure that carry gamete. So, one of the megaspore actually carrying female gamete here, that structure is named as female gametophyte. Children, it is very easy to remember the terminology, because the female gametophyte is a structure carrying female gamete, so that it is called as female gametophyte. And another name also we use for the same structure, that is embryo sac. because the formation of embryo takes place within that sac like structure, so that it is also named as embryo sac. Understood? So let us have a look into these developments takes place in the ovule. So this is the actual schematic showing the formation of matured embryo sac within the ovule. So the development starts with the megaspore mother cell that you can notice in the schematic. So megaspore mother cell is actually diploid cell, right? So that diploid cell divides by meiosis to form 4 haploid megaspores. So does all the haploid megaspores retain in the ovule? No, right? Only one megaspore retain, and that megaspore is actually going to form a matured embryo sac. So you can see the further changes takes place in the dominant megaspore. So initially we can notice only one nucleus, and in the further development the one nucleus divides and form more number of nuclei within the megaspore. Understood, right? So these are the few changes takes place in the female gametophyte. So in order to become mature embryo sac, that megaspore causes the repeated mitotic division of nucleus. So 3 times the division of nucleus takes place within the megaspore. So finally the mature embryo sac or the female gametophyte carry 7 cells and 8 nuclei. So you can count the number of nuclei in the mature embryo sac. You can find 8 nuclei. Understood? So let us see how those 8 nuclei are arranged within the embryo sac. Yes, this is the structure of matured embryo sac in the ovule. So just you count the number of nuclei here. So 3 nuclei present towards one end, and remaining 3 nuclei present towards the another end, and 3 nuclei remain present at the center. So that if you count the number of nuclei, 8 nuclei are present, and all 8 nuclei are present in a single cell. Clear? So the mature female gametophyte consists of 2 ends. Actually ovule consists of 2 ends. One is chalazal end and another one is micropyle end. So where the opening is present in the ovule, that end is called as micropyle end, and the another opposite end of the ovule is named as chalazal end. So one face of the embryo sac facing towards the chalazal end, and the another face of the embryo sac facing towards the micropylar end of ovule. Understood? So embryo sac has 3-celled egg apparatus. So the number of nuclei present towards the either end of embryo sac, they form their own cell. They form their own cell. Understood? And the nuclei present at the center, they do not consist of any protective covering. That means they are freely present at the central region. Understood? So the 3 cells what are present in the embryo sac towards the micropylar end, they are named as egg apparatus. So among 3, one cell is egg cell, and on either side of the egg cell synergids are present. You can clearly find the presence of egg here in the egg apparatus, and on either side of the egg you can find the presence of synergids. And towards the chalazal end, another 3 cells are present. All those 3 cells are named as antipodal cells. Understood, right? So 3 cells present towards the micropylar end are named as what? Egg apparatus. So among the egg apparatus, one cell is the egg, and on either side of the egg cell we have two synergids. So all the three together called as egg apparatus. Then the three cells present towards the chalazal end of ovule is named as antipodal cells. And remaining two nuclei are present as it is at the center. They are named as what? Polar nuclei. Understood? So, the matured female gametophyte in the angiosperm consists of 8 nuclei and 7 cells, because the central located 2 nuclei does not consist of its own membrane. Understood? So, the membrane of female gametophyte, it is act as a membrane of polar nuclei. So that the mature embryo sac consists of 8 nuclei and 7 cells. So what is the next process takes place in the angiosperm? So already we have studied that pollen grain formation takes place in the male sex organ and female gamete formation takes place in the female sex organ. So the further process is pollination. That means the transfer of pollen grain need to be takes place towards the female sex organ. Without that, fertilization does not occur, right? Because the pollen grain present in the anther and ovule is consist of female gamete, so that there is a need to transfer the pollen grain towards the female sex organ. So that process we are calling as pollination. So pollination is the transfer of pollen grain from stamen to the stigma of pistil is called pollination. So pollination takes place by different agents. So sometime wind carry the pollen grain towards the stigma, sometime insects carry the pollen grain, sometime water carry the pollen grain. So that depends on the kind of species. If the plant is aquatic plant, water easily carry pollen grain. So if the plants are terrestrial, either the pollen grain carry through the wind or some of the agents helps in carrying the pollen grain. So if the flowers are scented or if their petals are brightly colored, insects are usually attracted towards the flower. So for getting nectar. So when the insects are attracted, they will sit on the flower in order to suck the nectar. So during that time, they carry pollen grain. So when the same insect sit on the another flower, it will carry the pollen grain to that particular flower. So this is how the transfer of pollen grain unknowingly takes place from one flower to another flower with the help of vector like insects. Understood, right? So the agents carrying agents of pollen grain vary from one type of plant to the another type of plant, but the process of carrying the pollen grain from stamen to the stigma is named as pollination. So pollen grain, that means not only one pollen grain go and sit on the stigma surface. So at the same time, many pollen grain fall on the surface of stigma. When they land on the stigma surface, the pollen grain starts forming the pollen tube. Because pollen grains, we know they are the carriers of what? Male gametes. So male gametes are actually present within the pollen grain. Understood, right? So pollen grain consists of male gamete that is actually now present on the surface of stigma. And where we have female gamete? So female gamete is there within the ovule, within the female gametophyte, so that the pollen grain need to transfer its gamete towards the female gamete. So it should cross the style and it should cross the membrane of ovule, then female gametophyte, in order to reach the female gamete. Understood? So soon after it landed on the stigma, the formation of pollen tube takes place. So you can observe in the second diagram. Second diagram. So one of the pollen grain on the surface of stigma formed the pollen tube. You can observe that tube-like structure penetrated towards the style region in the female reproductive organ. So this tube-like structure is nothing but pollen tube. So this tube grew through the stigma, then finally it reaches the ovule. Clear? So within the ovule, it reaches the female gametophyte. Understood, right? And finally, when it reaches the female gametophyte, it releases all the content towards the female gametophyte. That means all the gametes, male gametes, are discharges into the female gametophyte. So the question is, how many male gametes are there in the pollen grain? So the number of male gametes present in the pollen grain are 2. Understood, right? So 2 male gametes carry towards the female gametophyte through pollen tube. So the next process is fertilization. So the kind of fertilization what we can see in the angiosperm is unique type. So let us understand now about how the fertilization process takes place. Yes, the kind of fertilization takes place in the angiosperm is double fertilization. So in order to understand the double fertilization, first you have to understand the structure of female gametophyte. So we know female gametophyte present within the ovule. So the mature female gametophyte or embryo sac consists of 8 nuclei and 7 cells. Clear? Out of 7 cells, 3 cells are present towards the chalazal end of ovule. So what is the name of those cells? So those cells are named as antipodal cells. So you can see in the diagram. So 3 cells present towards the upper region of the female gametophyte is named as antipodal cells. And remaining 3 cells are present towards the micropylar end of the ovule. You can notice in the diagram towards the downward region of the female gametophyte, you can see the small opening. So through that opening, the pollen tube entered into the female gametophyte. So that end is nothing but chalazal end. Clear? So towards the chalazal end, what are the 3 cells are present in the female gametophyte? Those 3 cells are named as egg apparatus. All the 3 cells towards the micropylar end are named as egg apparatus. So out of 3, centrally located cell is egg gamete. That means a female gamete is present towards the center. And on either side of the egg, synergids are present. Understood? So 3 cells towards the chalazal end are named as antipodal cells, and the 3 cells present towards the micropylar end are named as egg apparatus. So among the three towards the micropylar end, one is egg cell. So centrally located cell is nothing but the egg cell. Understood? So this is for the structure. So pollen tube from the pollen grain carry the male gamete towards the female gametophyte. So as soon as the the pollen tube reaches the female gametophyte, it discharges its content there. Understood? So as a result, 2 male gamete releases into the female gametophyte. You can notice the pollen tube carrying 2 male gametes. They are given in blue color, right? Those 2 blue colored are nothing but the male gamete. So one male gamete fuses with egg cell. You can notice in the third diagram of this schematic. So one of the blue colored gamete fuses with the egg cell. Clear? So when the male gamete fuses with the egg cell, that is named as syngamy. So syngamy is the fusion of male gamete with the female gamete. Understood? What about the another male gamete? Because I told two male gametes are present in the pollen grain. So both the male gamete reaches towards the female gametophyte. So one gamete already mated with the female gamete, and remaining one male gamete fuses with the polar nuclei present at the center. Understood, right? So another male gamete fuses with the polar nuclei to produce triploid primary endosperm nucleus. So when the male gamete fuses with the polar nuclei, it results in the formation of triploid primary endosperm nucleus. Triploid is nothing but how many ploidy, how many nuclei are there? 3 nuclei are there. So within the single structure you can find the presence of 3 nuclei. So that the another male gamete fuses with the polar nuclei and forms triploid primary endosperm nucleus. So this type of fusion is called as triple fusion. Understood, right? So two fusion takes place at a time within the female gametophyte. So one male gamete fuses with the egg cell, that is actually named as syngamy. Another male gamete fuses with the polar nuclei to produce triploid primary endosperm nucleus. So this fusion is named as triple fusion. So syngamy and triple fusion taking place at a time within the female gametophyte. So because of this, the fertilization is named as double fertilization. So two kinds of fertilization are taking place. One is syngamy and another one is triple fusion. Understood now? Yes, this is very important concept. Double fertilization is very important concept. So this is a unique type of fertilization, can be seen in angiosperms. Understood? Yes. Because of the occurrence of two fusion, that is syngamy and triple fusion, this is termed as double fertilization. So as I told you, double is nothing but two. So two fertilization occurring at a time. So one is syngamy and another one is what? Triple fusion. So because of this, the kind of fertilization is named as double fertilization. Clear? So I hope you understood today's class. So in today's class we studied regarding the formation of megaspore, and we studied regarding pollination, and double fertilization takes place in the angiosperm. So you go through this video, you practice all these characteristic features of the angiosperm, and in next class I will explain you the cycle of angiosperm, life cycle of the angiosperm. Thank you.